First, before anything else, this playthrough wouldn't happen without the help of Classic Game Hacking, as you can see right there, because he's an awesome YouTube channel who does hacking of various old games, literally hacks the ROMs and ISOs to make them more bearable. Especially, trust me, it helps in this game. Welcome everybody to Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. Anyway, because the game thinks because the game thinks you're stupid, allow me to explain to you what mythology means. A body of collection of myths belonging to a people and addressing their history, deities, ancestors, and heroes. Number 2, a story or fable relating to gods or supernatural events.
So I asked Pedro, with the hacks,
yeah.
There's no subtitle. There's no subtitles, so pay attention.
The voice acting is amazing.
Well, acting in general too. So.
Oh right.
True.
That would decide the fate of the world and plunge it into centuries of darkness. Now.
It happened 3 times.
Danger. Fought once again.
Oh, this is a prequel, Jova, so it's
yeah.
before that.
Oh well, we'll get to it too. Hold on.
Oh.
I am mortal. I am a thief and assassin. I am a Lin Kuei warrior. I am Sub-Zero, and that's... There you go. Now you know who I am, so we can start. But yeah, basically, Jova, Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero is a prequel to the first Mortal Kombat game that supposedly, and I really emphasize supposedly, tells us the origin story of Sub-Zero. Here's the...
and mind you, the first Sub-Zero,
Teo, spoilers. Anyway,
Pedro, I hate you right now because when you said we were watching Sub-Zero, I thought you meant the Batman movie.
Don't you mean? I think you mean whatever. That's not his name in the, but whatever. The point is,
the Mr. Freeze movie is called Sub-Zero.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, whatever.
Wait. You don't know about the Sub-Zero movie? It's one of the best Batman movies we've gotten.
Well, I don't. Is it one of the animated ones? Because I don't. I don't typically watch those.
It's the Bruce Timm animated series.
Sure. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. What is this thing that you brought to us?
Well, first a cutscene. Not that this cutscene has any point, because it's just showing the place where you are, which is kind of unnecessary if you ask me. But whatever. The Shaolin Temples in China.
What system is this on?
PS1.
PS1.
Mission objective: steal the sacred map of elements.
So this was the first ever Mortal Kombat PlayStation game.
Well,
actually, it was done after Trilogy.
Well, Trilogy is an enhanced port of an older game, so I can understand Jova's point there. Okay, so Scorpion shows up, he trolls us, and he goes away. Okay, so Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero is a prequel that supposedly is trying to tell the origin story of classic Sub-Zero, the original Sub-Zero that dies in the first Mortal Kombat. Okay, so getting through the gameplay first. This game is an action 2D platformer with the Mortal Kombat gameplay. By that I mean
I'm forever on the Super Nintendo.
Exactly, Dwibs. Apparently, Dwibs, the terrible reception of Batman Forever didn't clue Midway that this was a bad idea, so decided to try it again with this game.
I'm sure
So yeah,
what could possibly go wrong? I mean, so long as they don't implement heavy platforming, because Batman Forever was at least wise enough not to rely too heavily on platforming, but because it was clearly more beat 'em up wise.
I got bad news for
his own problems.
I got bad news for you, Jova. That's exactly what they do in this game.
They emphasize more on platforming than they already...
Well, they try to emphasize both, like equally fighting and equally platforming, and it doesn't work because, well, again, this engine and these controls were not made with platforming in mind. It makes no sense to design a game like this. Anyway, you can press select to go to your menu. You can use herbs, which, you know, heal your HP. So basically, this game also applies RPG elements, which, again, like I usually say with these cases, completely unnecessary. In fact, you cannot even freeze people at Sub-Zero yet. You have to first gain enough experience to unlock that move. Again, like I usually do with games like these, I find that to be utterly, and I do mean utterly, unnecessary. Because I would have preferred to just have all of my moves available from the beginning, but whatever. Anyway, I mentioned about classic game hacking
Don't you
before.
see, Pedro, it's a prequel. We're going to show how Sub-Zero got to the way he was before he dies.
I guess.
Alright, so
let Pedro explain actually what the hack consists of.
The basic gist of it when it comes to the hacking is, fortunately the guy that did such a great job in editing the scripts of the game by giving, infinite health, infinite lives, and one in particular is when it comes to the it's not just infinite health as in your health doesn't decrease. No. It's an invincibility cheat that literally makes obstacles not hurt you. For example, if one of those things tries to crush you and kill you in one hit, yes, those things kill you in one hit, the game will automatically move Sub-Zero out of the way. I don't even know how the hell the guy managed to edit the game to do that, but kudos on him.
Frustration, probably. But again, that's the thing, Jova. Normally, the opposite happens, as in, those things have such a huge hitbox that they are almost guaranteed to hit you.
Yeah, trust me, Jova. This is incredibly important in trying to make this game bearable, I assure you.
Let me ask, when you say big hitbox, do you mean like in the case where if so much as,
Yeah, by the way, you have to bounce on that thingy, because if you just jump straight away, you die in one hit. Again,
falling damage.
Falling damage in a platformer, just like in Bubsy. Great.
Okay. Falling damage in a platform is one thing, but falling damage in a 2D platformer? No, just...
Okay.
Come on, they're really big fans of Bubsy, okay?
Alright. Yes, Twips?
So in terms of the development of this game, this was actually, from what I can tell from here, the brainchild of John Tobias.
That's because...
Needless to say, after this game, he wasn't too much longer at Midway. He left 2 years later.
It's because John Tobias was the guy who originally came up with the overall story and lore of Mortal Kombat, so this was kind of a pet project of his where he would, because this was supposed to be the first of the Mythologies series, and as you guys know,
much like X-Men Origins, Wolverine was supposed to be the start of its own, set of spin-offs revolving a single character, and much like in that case, it bombs.
Here's the problem, though. John Tobias, in terms of the game development aspects, but in the previous games, was the art guy. He did the art. The actual guy who did the designing and programming was Ed Boon. Ed Boon not working on this game causes so other people have to do the gameplay design. And yeah, the lack of Ed Boon really shows in this game. Yes, Jova?
Mr. Pedro, I have a question.
Yes?
Surely with a project like this, they want to start off with, their most popular character, right? So why are they wasting time on the mythology and origins of Sub-Zero, a guy who dies in the first game, instead of, I don't know, Scorpion?
Here we go.
Because Sub-Zero's a better character. Hush. Don't want at me.
Oh, you didn't pull up Fatality?
Don't worry, Teo. We'll save that for the ending, because I'm trying to show off the two alternate...
Yes, believe it or not, this game actually has minor story branching.
It also has to do too that doing the fatalities in this game is incredibly... And trust me, I can do Sub-Zero's spine rip in the first Mortal Kombat, but in this game, the timing is so fucking precise. Like, even more than the original arcade game. Like, it's ridiculous. But don't worry, Teo. We'll see it later. Go ahead, Whips.
Okay.
So this game released in late 1997 on the PlayStation, in both North America and Europe, and somehow the Nintendo 64. And depending on where you lived, you either got it in late 97 in North America, or for some reason you had to wait till the following February to get it in Europe. Not that many people got this game anyway, so...
No. See,
Also, did you just kill Scorpion?
Don't worry, Jova. Remember, Scorpion is a specter from the Netherrealm, so it's not like he can stay that for long anyway. He just goes back to the Netherrealm in general.
Well, remember though, this is talking about Sub-Zero's origins, so I assume that part of his origins would be, when he initially killed Sub-Zero and sent him to the Netherrealm in the first place.
Well, that's a thing, Jova. Remember, this is the origin of Sub-Zero, not Scorpion. if you want that, watch the Scorpion's Revenge movie.
Which we
better.
did. And it was
Cutscene. We're about to get
it's hilarious.
Yeah, for as much as John Tobias is a passion for the lore, he gets something horribly wrong in this cutscene that I will point out.
Look at those.
All right.
So there we go. Finally, we meet the leader of the Lin Kuei, and he looks stupid. All right, listen here.
See, the ninja has been successful in retrieving my match.
Hold on, Oops.
Let's get something straight. I am not a ninja. I am Lin Kuei. Scorpion is a ninja.
Yes.
Excuse me, Sub-Zero. No, actually, the Lin Kuei is a ninja clan. So yes, you are a ninja.
Don't you see, he's better than a normal ninja, don't you see?
Okay, one cool thing that I will say is that the same actors who played mocapped for the digitization in the previous games have returned to do these scenes. John Turk, who did the ninjas in Mortal Kombat 3, is doing Sub-Zero here. Richard DeVizio, who did Kano since the first game, is doing Quan Chi here. So yeah, they did get the actors from the previous games. So there's that.
Such a pity the acting's worse than either of the Mortal Kombat movies. One of them came out the same year this game did.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because they got professional actors for a movie.
So anyway, yeah, Quan Chi is the new hot shit in town. Again, this is, well, okay, it's not his first canonical appearance. That honor goes to Defenders of a Realm.
Yeah.
Combat time!
It's his first game appearance, basically.
Wait. You mean Quan Chi? The Quan Chi debuted in that god-awful cartoon?
Yes, and you know, that's mug. Did it just mug to the fourth wall?
Yes. Well, I mean, that's the thing too. Quan Chi's always kind of been,
I know. Not to mention, yes, basically my favorite fatality in the entire franchise. I know how weak was he's capable of.
Yeah.
But yeah, RPG plot, Sub-Zero now is to go to Thor Temple,
Ladies and gentlemen,
in the elements,
but basically, Jova, let me put this in the simplest way I can. The real name of this game, for all intents and purposes, is Avatar: The Legend of Sub-Zero, because that's literally what Sub-Zero is going to do. He's gonna get the wind element, the wind element, the fire element, the earth element, and the water element. So,
although to be fair, shouldn't it be more accurately be Avatar Mythologies, considering that came after this?
Wait.
I was making a pun on the titles of Avatar, but yeah.
That's the problem, Pedro. Dibs is insistent on using the European one.
I just want.
Well, that's the European one too. The Legend of Aang. That's the European one. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what.
Quan Chi is my favorite Mortal Kombat character, only because there's a Twitter account called Daily Pics of Quan Chi. Look at it, it's so hilarious. Look at that.
Okay. I'm gonna take a bit of a guess here. Quan Chi turns out to be a bad guy, and he's gonna betray you, and he's gonna be the final boss, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
Closer.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's Shinnok right after that, but aside from that, he's got it pretty much on the right, so whatever.
Okay.
Well, basically,
mission legend. Collect the three icons representing the elements of wind.
So basically, when you get down to it, the Scorpion's Revenge movie is a better version of this, then.
Actually, on the subject of Avatar, if learning the elements was really as simple as collecting a few tokens, how long would that series have gone by? 3 episodes?
So, yeah, now we're in the Wind Temple. The basic idea... Oh, God,
What the...
Sorry.
What was that?
Basically, it had to load. Remember, Jova, this was back in the day when, load times were kind of obnoxious in a lot of games that weren't
There you go,
very
precision platforming.
Yes. Because because this is a good idea, But okay, let me pull another thing. The primary.
Yeet!
Yeah, the primary thing with Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero is that supposedly, okay, for the record, everybody, for those of you who don't know who Quan Chi is, like Dwibs, don't worry, his proper introduction will be explained in Mortal Kombat 4. My guess is they put him in this game because they wanted to, tease people to get to play Mortal Kombat 4, basically. We'll get to Mortal Kombat 4 after this game.
It's like I said, Scorpion's Revenge probably did a better job incorporating him into the plot. That was supposed to be based on.
And yes, every time you fall to your death, that FMV plays. So yeah, let's get some save states to help us because this level is ridiculous. Trust me, this level goes out of its way. Guess what? Guess what, Deji? We have Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels style of wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Oh dear.
Wait, what year did this come out?
1997, like the
1997.
yeah.
So I guess this was around the same time Mega Man 8 came out as well.
I think so. Yes.
Nearly, I think. Yeah, man.
You also have to combine that with Leaps of Fate. You already seen one, but you're gonna need to take a lot more, and also unstable platforms.
Might as well explain why I'm doing the PS1. Why I'm doing the PS1. But okay, if I want to give one credit,
there's literally a fan there.
Oh, this part. Basically, now you have to jump on platforms that are that rotate.
No, wait, leave that in. Come on, that's hilarious.
Not even just that. You have to. That's the thing. You have to jump at the exact precise timing that the game expects you. That the problem is again, the platforms rotate in and out of the 2D plane. So basically, it becomes incredibly hard. You're literally pixel hunting at this point.
It's also one of those situations similar to some of Frogger games, like Natural I've mentioned is retrospective, where when you jumped, your position is essentially locked. So if you're fucked up, the game tells you pretty much immediately, but you still have to see through the entire jump sequence.
Okay, I just gone on to Kex to check the price for this game.
Mm-hmm.
The N64 version is £38. I'm guessing because that lacks FMVs.
Yes.
Yes, it doesn't have any load times, but that's where the praise stops.
Basically.
The PlayStation version, because I was checking it to see, because I was checking the price, so maybe in the future, distant future, that is, I might check it out. Cheapest copy is £60.
Dweebs, the word of encouragement with the most honesty that I can. Don't
bother.
It's really not worth
use
it.
Use this playthrough to just get this game out on your belt, under your belt, and there you go. That works. It just works as well. Because trust me, you don't want to play this game. This game is painful.
Honestly, if you're gonna play this game, by the looks of it, you're better off playing it hacked anyway. Because
yeah.
Okay. So Pedro, how much of the problems would you say the hack erases? And by that I mean, like, well, would you say that you're still gonna get something of the Sub-Zero experience even with the hacks?
Let me put it this way, Joe, but trust me, even with the hacks, the game is a frustrating mess because it's terribly designed, and I'll get into that eventually, because as you just saw, I just missed those platforming bits because, again, the game is so frustrating when it comes to the way it's designed. It's just badly designed in general. Like, trust me, I did erase some of my pain, but not all of it. As for to cover what, to cover what Liz was saying, yeah, the N64 version is basically most of the same. The main difference is that the cutscenes are screenshots of the FMVs from this one, and with text put on it. They also, and since they removed the FMVs, that means that we don't have the outtake bloopers video that you can unlock. So yeah,
it's possibly one of the best rewards ever in a video game, to be honest.
So
I know, right?
So definitely don't bother with the N64 version. It's not really worth it.
Also, is this game operating on a Metroidvania style thing? Because I noticed you doing backtracking.
That's because
you have to get some keys at specific points.
Here's how the levels work, Jova. It's this game operates entirely and religiously by the rule of free. Every time you go into a level, you need free of a certain type of object in order to be able to open a door or free doors. So you can finish the level. That's the basic gist of it. And if you miss a level, you have to go back and get it. So if you miss an item, here you go. See, you can use this key now here in this specific point, and it unlocks this tornado that and now you have to save it.
Hopefully won't kill you.
Here's what happens. You keep going up and up and up and up on a tornado. And if you fall, there you go.
Wait, that's it? Game over?
Game over, man.
No, you just lose. You just lose a life. But trust me, you don't get that many lives. And once your order continues, you start all over, unless you've saved, and you can only save every time you finish a level. So yeah. Be careful.
It really does look like the screw attack.
Here's how the tornado works. Here's how the tornado works. It keeps moving you upward. If you want to move downwards, you have to hold down to keep yourself going down, so you can fall from a safe distance. Yes, Jova?
Oh, that's why you didn't, go the upper path, or why you kept just letting go of it.
Because the upper path is locked, because I need this item right here that I'm trying to get right now to go through that door.
Which is not really easy to do.
God,
I think you're supposed to use this. I think you were supposed to use the slide in that section, but I'm not entirely sure.
That's the thing too. That's my problem too. See, it's not a clearly this is not the problem of the game. It's my problem that I was trying to play this like a normal platformer would play. That's my issue too. Sorry, I apologize for that.
Well, not really. Mega Man does work even with the slide in later games.
That's what I mean.
Besides, I was just guessing.
Sure. I know what you're saying too. I don't think you understood what I'm trying. My problem is that I was trying to jump to the platform like I would in a platformer. That's my instead of sliding.
Sure, but again, after the first attempt, there was the gap. Usually in games like that, that means you're supposed to crouch or slide under it.
I guess, sure. But yeah.
Unfortunately, the game did not take good cues from Crash Bandicoot.
Anyway, you have to press this. Yeah, you have to press this button here and then go through the door. Problem is, the door closes really quickly. So basically, and by the way,
you have to run.
Yeah,
I know. You're supposed to run in this game.
R2. Remember, too. This is the Mortal Kombat free control style.
Sure, but you normally don't run in MK games.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sub-Zero's greatest enemy, a door.
Yes. The basic gist of it is that you're supposed to run, like Teo said.
Maybe that's what Scorpion should use on him next time.
I should have I was just trying to showcase how the time for that door is unnecessarily short, because
I know, right?
There's no real reason for it. Okay, hold on, Teo. I gotta say this. Pro tip: when you turn to the left.
Right,
and save your state here. Why? Because the moment you collect this item, that fan will start immediately sucking you to it and killing you in one hit.
Jesus.
Talk about a beginner's trap. Oh yeah, that's forgot. I didn't mention the trap.
Although in the context of the story, it's amazing security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Dark Souls or Mortal Kombat.
I will mention it in a moment, Dwips. But the point is, I didn't explain turning in this game. Here's the primary, I guess, innovation that this game brings compared to the previous ones we've done. This game has a turning button, meaning, unlike the previous games where your character will automatically turn to whatever your opponent is, since this game, requires you to be able to choose where to go forward or backwards. Instead of the character turning automatically, you have to press the L2 button to turn either to the left or to the right. Here's the problem. That means, since the game is still using the Mortal Kombat controls, you can only walk and run towards the direction that your character is turned. Meaning, and that's why I took the precaution of turning before I even caught that item. Because otherwise I would have to have both turn and start running in the heat of time. That's how fucking...
You know what that sounds like? What? That sounds like tank controls, but for a 2D game.
Yeah.
How do you even...
Imagine you're playing a Mario game, and and in order to go back, you have to first press a turn button for Mario to turn to the other side. I'm
guessing the reason that they included a turn button was because I assume for the fighting they use the directional buttons like they would in an actual fighting game. So they needed a turn button because otherwise it would just be locked to fighting controls. Like
I said, Jova, it's because the game requires you sometimes to go back if you missed something. But since
wait a minute.
So instead, hold on. So instead of redesigning the control scheme from the ground up to fit the level design, they instead decided to take the Mortal Kombat 3 control scheme and just add a turn button to it. Yes, Deji?
Oh.
So this is basically a platform fighter.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So it's more of a platform fighter than Smash Brothers.
It's a platformer. See, here's the big difference. Smash is control. Yes, Smash was made with the controls in Smash are done with platforming in mind because the single-player campaigns involved, like Subspace Emissary and the adventure mode in Melee and so on and so forth, involve platforming. So of course, those games were actually designed with that kind of thing in mind. These controls were not made with this in mind, and that's the problem. Ed Boon himself has said that this game is crap, and he basically disowned it.
Oh, wow.
And who can blame him, really?
Okay. So,
yes.
bit of a battle. Which was the more failed attempt at, a spin-off franchise? This or the X-Men Origins franchise?
X-Men Origins, because I argue that besides the silly acting and the atrocious gameplay, the plot is still fairly solid, even if it's pretty basic. X-Men Origins Wolverine is just a bad plot.
Well, it's so bad that they had to reboot
honestly,
the
Theo,
franchise.
I'm gonna reply to you about that, Theo, especially because it also helps me reply to what Dwibs was saying earlier anyway, so I can kill two birds with one stone right now. I disagree with even what Theo just said, to be honest with you. I find the plot in this game to be utterly boring, to be honest with you, because we never... Okay, for as much as this game proclaims itself as being an incredible game that's going to expand the mythology and the lore of... This game doesn't tell us anything. Literally nothing about neither the character of Sub-Zero, neither of the characters, for the record, nor even the world of Mortal Kombat. Yes, we learn. I guess you can argue.
It is publicity. Oh, it also is another addition that was gonna show up in MK4. Fujin, basically Raiden's wind cousin.
Yes, that's another tease for Mortal Kombat 4. Fujin, the wind god, basically.
So let me guess, the idea is like, well, for every element you try and get, you have to face the god who guards it.
Basically, yeah. Again, this is basically this is kind of like a mix of Avatar plus. Well, actually, you know what? A mix of a lot of things, because how many?
Is that 4?
How many platformers? Yes. How many fantasy stories involve catching the 4 elements? Like, seriously, it's literally the most overused trope in fantasy media. But anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. The only thing I guess, learn...
He just runs away.
No, that's because he's using a kamikaze attack and you're supposed to counter him by crouching on one of the ledges, which is so cryptic.
It is cryptic.
How are you supposed to know that?
Simple, Joba. You buy a magazine with a guide. Oh yeah, prepare to see this FMV a lot, because every time we transition from one level to another, we have to see this exact same FMV, but with the background changed.
So did he get the element? Did he get the element or something?
Is he okay?
No, well, no, Dibs, it's not okay. None of this is okay. No, but that's the thing, just to finish my point. No, here's the thing. The only... I guess thing we learn in terms of the Mortal Kombat mythology and lore is that there's generic temples of the elements, and
we learn about finally the realm, that was teased for characters like Noob Saibot and Scorpion.
Yes,
again.
Hold on, let me because like Theo was just saying. The Earth's Hell that we talked about in Mortal Kombat 3 now gets in this game officially renamed to Netherrealm. I think Defenders of the Realm was the first one to properly call it Netherrealm.
I don't remember.
But regardless, in terms of the games themselves, this is the first one to actually properly rename it to Netherrealm, which would be the name that would stick for the rest of time. But aside from the temples and the fact that now Netherrealm finally obtained its name, the game doesn't tell us anything that we don't already know from the previous games. I assure you. We only talk about the origin of the feud between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which we already know. And we don't learn anything from Quan Chi, aside from the fact that Ceres has Shinnok, which we already will learn in Mortal Kombat 4 anyways, which, again, makes this game redundant. Trust me, in terms of expanding the lore, this game is a complete waste. It tells us nothing interesting. It's just literally a fetch quest of catching all 4 elements. It's literally that. That's basically it. Yes, the characters will talk. We'll have Raiden scowl Sub-Zero. You've been a bad boy, Sub-Zero. You shouldn't have messed with Quan Chi. But that's about it. But
again, well, again, you know, yes, it might be boring, you know, and you know, very simplified, but I'll take that over whatever the fuck X-Men Origins Wolverine was doing. That was the comparison.
Sure. I guess it's just that, you know, like, it's just I'm mostly just saying it because this is a John Tobias passion project, and he's the one who came up with the story and lore of this bloody thing. You'd think he would be able to come up with something better than this, but I guess not. Whatever.
All right.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.